Hello, honey buns, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to do something a little more personal, and I'm going to talk about my skincare journey. Now, skincare has been a big thing in my life. It's pretty much for a whole year now, almost a full year. It's been an overarching, all-encompassing kind of concept in my life. It's almost been like, I guess because it's my face that I'm seeing in the mirror every day, it's kind of hard to not take in everything that you're seeing and criticize it a lot. Now, as you can probably tell already, this video isn't scripted, and it's because I don't know. Talking about my skincare, it's almost like such a personal journey that I've gone through because it is a journey. And I just couldn't find a way to write it down that seemed as organic and as real as what I was going through at the time. So I'll just jump right into it and hope that this doesn't turn out too badly. So this all started back in May of 2020. Actually, I think it was just a week or two before my birthday. And I'd started noticing a few more blemishes than usual. Now, I'd been pretty blessed as a teenager, and all through high school, I had pretty much gotten through without too many offending pimples. Like, sure, maybe I'd have a zit every now and then, but like most teenagers do, I could just get away with popping that thing and moving on. I can't even imagine it now. It seems so bad, but my skincare routine was really nothing, and I was very, very lucky. Until, of course, May of 2020. So, as I said, I started noticing a few more blemishes on my face than usual. Nothing too bad again, but just annoying. Like, I thought, I don't have to deal with this. I've got good skin. There must be something else I can be doing. So, I went to a doctor. Now, this doctor was a doctor that I'd seen before, but not one that I'd seen for a very long time. So, I guess take from that what you will. But I happened to be on the pill at the time, and he suggested that I change to a different pill, which was more, did the same thing, but was more helpful for most women in treating acne. And I was like, well, great, that sounds perfect. I'll move on to that. Now, one thing you should never do when you change medication is make a whole bunch of other changes, but that's exactly what I did. Because I was noticing all these new blemishes on my face, I also started doing some research, and I found out that salicylic acid was supposed to be good for blackheads and whiteheads and clearing out your pores and all that sort of thing. So I invested in Neutrogena's salicylic acid daily wash. And oh my gosh, I thought that this product was going to be the holy grail. It was a physical exfoliant, so it had that really scrubby, almost like a coffee scrub kind of thing. Don't do coffee scrubs, they're really bad. And so I was rubbing that into my face daily and nightly. Oh, I pushed that stuff into my skin. I wanted it to clear me out. Now, maybe because it was labeled as a daily wash, it wouldn't have been too bad on its own. But I also started using retinol. The retinol I was using was from the brand Olay. I think it was a serum. And I did not do any research into what retinol was. I just knew that it was supposed to be good. And now I know that you can get retinol burns, you can have allergic reactions to retinol, you can't use certain things with retinol, but I didn't know any of that. So I was using this scrub and then using this retinol daily and nightly. Oh my gosh. And then one morning, I woke up with burning around my eyes and my mouth. Like right underneath my eyes, pretty much in the bags of my eyes, was completely red. And I woke up and my eyes were swollen. My mouth was like tingling. I had like a red rash around it. Now this was all, I guess it was sore and it was red, but it wasn't pimples. It wasn't a breakout at this point. So I was freaking out because I didn't know what this was. And I was like, all right, maybe, I don't know, maybe I was just like allergic to something. I'll just continue with my normal routine. Oh man, the salicylic acid, it burned so much. I had to wash it off straight away. The retinol, oh, that was even worse. It was terrible. So I tried to just use the skincare products that I'd been using all through high school, just like a moisturizer, that sort of thing. Everything hurt. Everything that touched my skin burned so bad. I was like splashing my face with water as soon as a product touched my skin. It was like, okay, maybe I'll try this. Ow, ow, ow. No, 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 no. Wash it off, wash it off, wash it off. Try something else. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, it was a mess. I was just standing in the bathroom, freaking out. Luckily, it was a weekend, I remember, so I didn't have to be anywhere. But yeah, it was not good. Eventually, I tried some sorbeline. Pretty much for as long as I can remember, we've had this big tub of sorbeline, like a big pump of sorbeline, and I never used it because I was like, it's just sorbeline, like you put that on rashes or whatever, and I guess that's exactly what I had. So I very hesitantly touches this sorbeline to my face and it didn't burn. So I proceeded to rub it generously all over myself like I was just a glazed donut, but the glaze was sorbeline. Like I had that everywhere because it was the one thing that wasn't burning me. Water and sorbeline, that's all my skin could tolerate. So after a couple days of the sorbeline detox, the burning starts to go down. The redness is fading. Nothing is like hurting too bad. I'm not waking up with like swollen patches of my face. So that was good. I was feeling confident. But then the breakouts arrived. So they started off as just persisting redness on my forehead and my right cheek for some reason. Not my left, just my right. And it was kind of feeling bumpy to the touch. And then over the next couple of days, underskin pimples developed, like those really deep ones that are so sore to touch, but you can't do anything about them because they don't have a head. They're so deep in the skin. And I got a lot of those. Like I'd never had those types of pimples before. I'd only ever had like whiteheads, a couple blackheads, but never these deep underskin pimples that were so sore. So it was bad. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done to myself? And I went into like panic mode. I was like, my birthday's coming up. There are so many of these pimples popping up out of nowhere all of a sudden. Nothing I'm doing is helping. Sorbeline is not saving me. I need to do something else. So I went back to my normal skincare routine that I had used all through high school, which was it was like a Pfizer Hex, I think is the brand, a cleanser, the ordinary buffet serum, and Olay Whip moisturizer. I was a big fan of Olay for some reason. It's totally overpriced and not worth it, but that's what I was using because that's what a lady in Priceline told me to use. This is where my skincare advice, that's where I was getting it from. Random people in random stores trying to sell me the most expensive products. So that's what I was using, and my skin could handle that again. The burning, as I said, had gone down, but none of these products were doing anything. In fact, my skin only got worse. It was getting more and more irritated, more and more red. I was getting more and more pimples. It was starting to look really cysticky, like there were cysts on my face, and I was not having it. So I started to do more research, and like skincare was never something I bothered to do research on because like my skin was always fine. I'd get a couple pimples, they'd be gone in a couple days. Like I never really bothered looking up products or how to use anything or even like a steady routine. Like I remember some days I'd do skincare, some days I wouldn't. Maybe if I was running late for high school, I wouldn't bother. But yeah, this all happened after high school when I thought I was in the clear and pimples just go away when you get older. They don't. Spoiler. So my skin was worse. My routine, quote unquote routine, wasn't working. So I did research. I spent a lot of money on skincare that probably wasn't gonna help me from the beginning. Like I did the bare minimum of research and thought, maybe my skin reacted to the salicylic acid. Let's cut out anything that has any chemicals and go straight to natural skincare. But I didn't know that you shouldn't be putting fragrance and oils and essential oils on your face. So I bought like coconut scented natural scrubs and rose scented water cleansers, and of course none of that helped. It only made it worse. My skin maybe cleared up for like a morning, and then by the afternoon it was all bad. So instead of sticking with that and trying to ride it out, I chucked them all in the bin, went a different route, went to one of those personalized skincare things that are really popular at the moment. Like you take this quiz and we get skincare that is personalized for your face. Yeah, I did that. Hot tip, didn't work. I think I did yours. I've seen their ads a lot on Instagram. They seem to really work for some people, which is great. Good for those people. Yours burned the crap out of my skin. I didn't even stick with that for a day. I can't even say that. I put every single one of their products on my face in the order that they told me to, in the way that I was supposed to, at the time of day that I was supposed to, and it killed me. Like, my face was just, it was not having it. So, I chucked all that in the bin as well. Skin is very, very bad by this point. Skin is big mad. Like, it's just angry boys all over my face. And it was just going through waves of maybe kind of settled and then really, really bad. Like really, really bad. I was getting really terrible self-esteem issues. I was super depressed. I was dreading going out. I didn't want to oh, sorry, that's my cat. Excuse me for a second. Where was I? Yes, okay, so skin was bad, nothing was helping, was getting worse, bad self-esteem issues, really just dreading looking in the mirror, dreading going out. All I could think of all day was, oh my gosh, my skin is so bad. Everyone's looking at me because my skin is so bad. I look so ugly. I can't believe I have to go out today. Can I just wear a paper bag over my head? Like, it was really bad. I tried not to focus on it so much, but you look in the mirror every day. You touch your face every day. You can't help it. And just looking in the mirror and seeing that, looking back, it does things to you. Like, you feel like your whole appearance is just ruined. Like, your face looks bad, and so suddenly your body shape is awful, and you start judging your weight and judging your I was judging my nails. I didn't do anything to my nails, but suddenly I was like, oh, they're so like thin and cracky, and I was judging my teeth, like my teeth looked too yellow all of a sudden, and my eyelashes weren't long enough, and my eyebrows were uneven, like everything was just, it was a chain reaction of bad. So I was like, okay, maybe like this is my life and it's not so bad, and maybe I'll just try and get back into makeup and live this way forever. But pretty much every time I had one of those thoughts, it was like, no, I don't want this to be a permanent solution. I don't want to live my life this way. There must be something I can do to get better. And it doesn't help when you see things on YouTube and TikTok of like how I cleared my skin in 3 days. And it's these people with like a couple black dots on their face, and they put on like CeraVe, and then suddenly they're glowing and beautiful and blemish free. It's like, yeah, no, that's really unrealistic. Don't look at those videos and think, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Like, everyone's skin is different. Everyone's going to have to go through a journey if you were in as big of a hole as I was. So, as I said, I did some more research and I started getting more into K-beauty, like Korean beauty, which is something I'd never really, I guess, gotten into that much before, because in Australia, it's so hard to find anywhere that sells Korean makeup and Korean skincare. Like, I've found places now, but even so, I still get most of my stuff online because it's just impossible. Like, the range here is so limited and so expensive if you actually manage to find somewhere out in Sydney to buy Korean makeup and Korean skincare. So I started getting into that, which included like oil cleansers. The Glow Recipe was a brand. They're nice, I'm going to say this wrong. Niacinamide serum, that one. Cosrx was another brand. Innisfree, of course, everyone knows Innisfree. What's that one? Vanilla & Co? Don't come for me, I'm sorry. So yeah, I was using a lot of that, and I guess my skin settled down to sort of like a neutral zone. Like, I knew I had oily skin, I knew I had blemish-prone skin, and at this stage, I was pretty certain that I had inflammatory acne. So actually buying products that were gentle but still had like some effective actives in them, like vitamin C is really good. I did get back into using salicylic acid, but in like a gentler form, in just like a gel cleanser. So that sort of thing. And knowing what my skin type was and the problems that I was facing was really helpful in actually choosing what products I use. And the best test was just splashing my face with water, leaving it, and then like 5-10 minutes later, does your skin feel dry and tight? Does it feel like oily and silky? And that basically determines what type of skin you have. So I had oily skin. Hooray! And from using products that were supposed to help with that, it settled down to like a neutral zone. Like, it wasn't great, but it was less bad. I was managing my breakouts. Like, I was still getting really bad and tender underskin pimples on my forehead, especially. My forehead was a war zone, but it wasn't as bad as it had been. The problems I was facing now was those pimples and scarring, because even though I did the good thing and I didn't pop and I didn't pick and I didn't scratch and I didn't touch, all of the underskin pimples had come to the surface and then just immediately blossomed into dark scars. So that was fun. Around this time is where I insert the video of my terrible dermatologist experience, where they told me to rub soap all over my face, not just like a beauty bar or a hand soap, like antibacterial pump soap. Yeah, rub that onto my face, and baby wipes, and yeah, we'll just go watch that video. I'll link it in the description or something. It was bad. But yeah, that happened. And then that did nothing, obviously, and I definitely did not follow that advice. And then my mum actually suggested that I go and see my childhood doctor. Not the one that I saw at the very beginning who changed my pill, which I was no longer taking, but just the one who I'd seen pretty much all throughout my teen years, and I felt like they knew me a bit better. So it took a bit of convincing because I was like, no, I can do it myself. I can fix this. Spoiler alert, I couldn't fix it. And so I went to see the doctor. And the doctor prescribed peroxide benzo. I can't pronounce things. I say them away in my head, but I know it's not right. But it was like a benzoyl peroxide serum and doxycycline as a tablet form to help antibacterial wise and get rid of the inflammation and basically the acne causing bacteria. So I went on those, and I'm still not certain if it was the serum or the doxy tablets, but oh man, the burning was back. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah, the burning eyes were back. The burning around the mouth was back. It was great. It was fun times. I was freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, history is repeating itself. It's happening again. Yeah, it was not good. But I persisted because at this point, I knew that I wasn't putting products on my skin that were doing nothing for me. Like, they were burning, but they were helping. I did notice that I was starting to get less pimples. And even though I went through a phase of looking like a drugged out panda, I pulled through. I still have all my skin, so that's a win. And mixing the medication that I got with a consistent routine, like balancing any acids I was using with really mild and gentle formulas like CeraVe. CeraVe is amazing. I just bow down at the temple of CeraVe and worship because, oh my gosh, they saved my life. I also discovered rosehip oil, which is another holy grail, I would say. Like, I'd never seen people using it until TikTok. You'd think I would have learnt my lesson, but actual dermatologists on TikTok this time using rosehip oil, and I'd either mix it with a CeraVe moisturizer or use it after the CeraVe moisturizer. It's done a lot to fade the scars, especially on my cheeks. Before, my cheeks looked like someone had like dipped a paintbrush in black paint and then just like flicked it against my face. Like, it was not good, and it was like, these are going to be here forever. Like, there's nothing I can do. They're just going to be there forever. And I'd say since using the oil and the prescriptions from the doctor, they've gone down. Like, those scars have gone down at least 50%, if not more, and are still improving every day. So, oh my gosh. The best thing, I stopped getting underskin pimples. Oh, yes. I still get a couple breakouts, but they are very mild. Most of them come to a head and then are gone. No scarring left behind. And I actually put pseudo-cream on my breakouts. Who knew, right? Like, I have worked in childcare for my entire professional life, and I have been putting pseudo-cream on babies with nappy rash for most of that time. It seems weird to think, oh, I'll just put it on my face. But it does magic. Like, I'm not a skincare professional. I'm not going to give you the ingredients and the stats of why this works, but it works. Like, pseudo-cream. I'm shocked. But yeah, that's been fading scars and managing breakouts. The rosehip oil is amazing. CeraVe is so good. I'm so scared to say it out loud, but I think I'm okay. Like, I'm more knowledgeable about my skin now, and I can look at products and be like, no, this is not for me, or yes, I need this. Also watching YouTubers, like, if no one is surprised, but Hiram, go and watch Skincare by Hiram. He is a good gentleman. He knows his stuff. James, oh gosh, is it Welsh or Walsh? Just look up James Skincare Dude on YouTube, because that's what I did, and he will come up. He also has oily skin. He had dry skin as well, which is what I went through for a while, so his recommendations have been a godsend. And yeah, I guess going to the doctor was a smart move, because it put me on the right track to be able to manage my skin. Like, the medication, the serums and the tablets have given me the ability to actually get my skin to a level where it's not just inflamed and angry and constantly breaking out no matter what I do. The breakouts are managed, the underskin pimples, the tablets and the serum have been targeting that, so they're not as, like, my skin's not as congested underneath and it's not producing all those pimples. I've said pimples so many times, I hate that word. But we're saying it like we're dispelling demons. Pimples, no more, be gone, shoo. Basically, I don't know a lot. I'm not an expert, but I feel like I'm pretty good. Like, I'm at the point where I'd take a quote-unquote shelfie and post it to Skincare Reddit. Like, that's how confident I am that I'm on the right track. I know a lot of people, not just teens, but young adults as well, like me, suddenly go through really bad skin issues, or have been going through really bad skin issues in the past. And while I'm no expert, I feel like I can at least give some advice, which is what I hope I achieved in this video. It might have seemed a bit rambly, it might have been a bit all over the place. Please forgive me. If you do not like this format, please let me know in the comments. Feel free to roast me. I don't mind. I just want to know what you guys prefer. Like, do you prefer my scripted videos, or do you prefer me just sitting down and having a chat? Because who doesn't like a good chat? I've got my tea, which I haven't been able to drink because I'm recording, and, you know, we're just going to talk about how terrible my skin is. So, the main point of this whole story time really was to leave you buns with some advice. And I guess you could have already gathered some pretty good do's and don'ts from my terrible experience, but the first piece of actual advice I'd like to give is to see a doctor. I know it's so tempting to do some research, to look on TikTok and Reddit and see these amazing transformations and be like, hey, I can do that. I'll just buy some $1 million products and slap them on my face. And if that doesn't work, I'll just try a different product, waste all my money and get minimal results. So, see a medical professional. It doesn't have to be a doctor. It could be a dermatologist. It could even just be someone you trust and they could recommend you someone, but you need to see a medical professional just to get your feet off the ground, just to find out what you have and what steps you can do to help. My second set of advice would be stick to a routine. I know, again, it is very tempting to see minimal results within the first few days, chuck the product in a bin and try something else, because that is exactly what I did on repeat for about a month, and it just made everything worse. If you want to see results, you've got to be consistent. You've got to stick to a routine, and that routine has to be working. If your skin is tingling, if it's burning, if it's going red, it's not all part of the process. That's when you chuck the product in the bin. But if you've got a specific routine that has been set for you that is supposed to help your skin, stick with it. You're not supposed to see results for at least 6 weeks. So give it that time, and then if it's not working, try something else. Don't product hop. It is such a mistake. My third piece of advice and final piece of advice is just simply to say, it's okay. I know that looking in the mirror and not liking what is looking back is awful. It gives you so many issues. It makes you feel so many awful emotions, and you feel like that your life is just ruined, that you're going to be stuck like this forever. You're never going to be able to feel happy with your skin or how you look. You're always going to be insecure and uncomfortable in your own body. But it's okay. So many people are going through what I went through and what you guys might be going through. And even though it feels like the end of the world and that you'll never be able to fix it, you will. I am well on the way to having the perfect skin that I had as a teen, and I never thought that would happen this time last year. So, all I can say is keep your head up, keep going, and you'll get through it. Alright, honey buns, I think that's where I'll wrap up this video. Again, if you do not like this chat, discussion, unscripted format, please let me know and I will not do it again. I know it got a little bit rambly, but I think we held it together and got to the end. If you're still here, hi! Thanks for sticking it out with me. I hope you were able to enjoy or cringe along with me at my awful, topsy-turvy, upside-down roller coaster of a skincare journey. But I think I'm well on the way to finally figuring out my face. So, good luck to me, and good luck to you guys if any of you may be struggling with it. As always, if you want to join our Honey Bun community, please give that subscribe button a good old bap. Feel free to follow me on my socials that will be linked in the description below. And please stay safe and stay healthy, because I'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye!